Good morning, good afternoon, good day, wherever you're at in this whole world of life. Today, I'm going to evaluate or go on with this thing that talking about what's in your backpack. And like I said before, I really where I saw this and was intrigued by this was the movie Up in the Air, which starred George Clooney, and the movie, in essence, talks about this backpacker. What George Clooney does is go to these conferences and talk about, what you carry in your backpack. And as an IO psychologist or a psychologist, I'm intrigued by this because really, what we're doing here when we talk about our what's in our backpack is talking about what we're and the other common saying is what baggage do you bring into this relationship, for example? Or what baggage do you bring when you start a new company? And, and, and when we talk about this, we're talking about our personality or our strengths and weaknesses. But mainly, as a psychologist, what I see about this is when we talk about it, is our past experiences. And even though I have a hypnosis license and also what I call an NLP, which is neurologic logistic programming license as well. We talk about how we can reprogram the mind. What I see and observe with a lot of people is we, for instance, look at relationships, or if you're single or you're in a relationship that you feel is toxic, we bring in that knowledge and that experience of that because of the fact of our past experiences. And what I'm saying here in reality is that we bring in our past into like relationships or jobs. And what this sometimes will create is negativity within our subconscious mind. For instance, you may say, well, this happened in the past, so this is going to happen here. And that's not necessarily the case. This is the events of what happened in the past that overran the situation. So, for instance, for me, sometimes I don't give myself enough credit for things. Uh, I know one of my things is I'm not a very strong writer, but I'm very articulate about getting my point across. And I have this certain style about myself. That's the word I'm looking for. That I'm very positive and I'm very astute and I'm very knowing where I want to take things in life. So, in essence, what I'm talking about here is I'm talking about things that happened maybe in the past. And so, what I'm looking about this is I'm working on a thing that relates to Up in the Air with George Clooney and about that movie about when he talks about a backpack and he goes on and talks about empowerment and change and positive thinking. And it really goes down to it, folks, about positive thinking. And positive thinking is rewiring your brain. And what I mean by rewiring your brain is even though we talk about things in the past, this is not necessarily the case that's going to happen in the future. So the goal in life is always to think about things in a positive light, not necessarily a negative light. So, for instance, one of my foots have been sore. I can sit there and say, well, I should go to the doctor, blah, blah. But I'm trying to do self care by like soaking my foot, being careful not to twist it. I think what I did is I twisted my ankle and it swelled up. So, in other words, I just got to do self care from it. So, the essence is instead of thinking to myself, oh, I'm going to go to the doctor and spend this money that I really actually don't really want to do. So, the point is doing self care and moving things forward and move those ideals from a negative aspect to a positive. In other words, The other issue I think that needs to be addressed is always be grateful. Like the first thing I did this morning is I said to myself, I'm grateful that I'm up this morning. I'm grateful that I got a decent job, a great job. I'm grateful that I'm alive. I'm grateful this is going on in my life. I'm grateful that my kids are well. I'm grateful for my friends and families. And that's a good way to start the day, because what you do is you put your mind in an aspect of grateful. And when you're in a state of gratefulness, things happen out of what I call these laws of attraction, because you're opened up more. When you're negative, these ideals, and this is what I say about the backpack issue again, when we go back to the backpack, is that if we have a negative outlook, because we got all these negative things in the backpack, it's so packed with negativity that we cannot put anything positive into it. It's almost like this thing I have on theory of the mind. For everything that's negative in the mind, we have to replace it with a positive. Well, if you've got 10 or 20 things that are negative in your mind, you got to put 10 to 20 ideals positive in your mind. So in essence, the theory of the mind and the backpack are the same issues. So the first step in anything is to create this positive outlet, and then move things forward. Anyway, folks, please like and subscribe on the bottom. I'll probably post a video most likely next weekend. Feel free to reach out to me at bthomasmillerpsych@gmail.com. Anyway, have a great week, and I will be talking to you soon. Have a great week. Talk to you soon.